Today I'm going to show you guys how to create a sticky call to action button in Webflow as it appears in the Paper Pillar website, like so, as well as my website. Bam. Yeah, should be fun. Let's do this. Hey guys, I'm Izzy from Flux, and after our last video, well, the last video that I did for the channel at least, I got a lot of direct messages on Instagram asking me to do a tutorial on the sticky call to action button interaction. And I have to oblige, so here we are. But before we jump into Webflow, I did want to mention, if you're looking to do this with the videos, I know a lot of blogs do this, where you'll scroll down and then the video scales down a little bit and then pins to the bottom right corner of the screen. If you're looking to do that, there's a very similar tutorial to the one we're doing today that Nelson from Pixel Geek, another wonderful Webflow YouTube channel, he did, and I'll link that tutorial in the description. So if that interests you, go check that out. Otherwise, let's cut to the chase and jump into Webflow. Okay, so the first thing we really need to do is set the stage. We're going to need a few elements for that. So let's throw in a section. Oh, it's lagging. And then we'll throw in a container within it. And a heading. And maybe this will be our subheading, and then a button right underneath. Okay. Let's go ahead and center that, and let's give the container some top margin. Let's give the button some top margin, and in my opinion, this landing page is ready to be shipped. It's beautiful. But seriously, so I do want to explain the logic real quick. Basically, what's going to happen is once this subheading scrolls out of view, we send this button to the bottom right corner of the screen. And once this subheading reappears, once we scroll back up, we bring this button back in place. Okay? So we can't even demonstrate it because there isn't any room to scroll. So what we'll do first is give this container an obnoxiously large height. 10,000 pixels, that's gotta be enough. Okay. So go ahead and we'll select the subheading, as that'll be our trigger, and we'll create a scroll into view element trigger interaction. And the first thing we'll do is we need an animation for when it scrolls out of view. Okay, so we'll start an animation, which we will call send button to corner. Riveting name. And so there are two things here that are going to happen. We're going to move. First of all, actually, make sure to select the button. We almost made a monumental mistake there. But so there are two things that are going to happen. Is we're going to move it. So we'll move the button to the bottom right corner, and we're going to scale it down maybe 10 to 15% as well. So we're going to have two initial states here. The move initial state, right? Bam. All elements with this class, and 0, 0. So, and then we need a second initial state scale. Bam. Okay, so we have our initial states. Let's go ahead and move that bad boy to, and so the values that I'm about to enter into the for X and Y will vary depending on your design or where you want to send the button, but these are pretty good starting points I've found. So from what I remember, I'm using 41 VW for the X and 88 VH for the Y. Okay, and for easing, I think I don't remember which one's best here, but again, this is something you could easily play with, but we'll go with out court. I think that's the one I'm using, but either way, you can play with the easing. And yeah, we have our move. Now we need our scale. So scale, let's scale it down 15%. So let's make this 0.85. Okay. And yeah, so you'll notice it's the button kind of moves outside of our of what we can see, and that's intentional, and you'll see why. Anyways, step 1 is basically done. Now we need to bring that button back once once the subheading is back in view, right? So all we really need to do there is create an animation for when scrolled into view. But what we can do to speed things up is just duplicate this one, the animation that we just created, rename it. Make sure to not select it, just rename it. Let's call it bring button back in place, a riveting name. And now create an animation for when scrolled into view. And then go ahead and select the duplicate. Click into that, and all we really need to do is remove the last 2 steps here and remove the initial state from the first 2, okay? And let's just test this out, see if this is actually even working. Okay. Yeah, like I said, you're gonna have to play with that easing. That's some pretty ugly easing. But so you'll notice right now, you know, it's moving where we want it to go, but it's not fixed, right? So as we scroll, we can keep scrolling and it just kind of chills there. And so what we need to do is fix that button once the interaction happens, right? To do that, we're gonna make use of, select the button, we're gonna make use of position sticky, right? But we want that position to be relative to whatever is giving it space, right? To continue to be fixed. And that is the container. So we'll make the container relative, okay? And we'll make that button, we'll change it to position sticky, right? Which, recall, it says right underneath what position sticky is. It fixes an element to the canvas only after a user scrolls past a specific location on the page. So this is exactly what we need, right? So position sticky, make sure you set the top to 0, right? And let's just preview this, okay? There you go. Cool. So obviously the easing needs some work, but see, we keep scrolling and the button is just there, it's fixed. So that's basically it. Is there anything else to cover? I don't think so. Yeah, otherwise I hope that was clear, guys. If it wasn't, let me know and I'll delete my Webflow account and cry in the corner. But seriously, I hope this was helpful. If there are any other Webflow related tutorials or effects that you'd like us to demonstrate, then please let us know in the comments or DM me on Instagram, whatever. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Take it easy. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.